Understood that one geographical discoveries? Hmm? I don't think so. We have to read it. That is what the new trade rules. Now the next one is about the spirit of inquiry. That one is also there, no?
Why is every statue of this chapter is naked? Why is every statue of this chapter is naked?
That's
how they make it.
That is one the thing Roman art. Second reason is that that time they started keeping focus on human,
It's given
man as the center.
It's given glorification of it.
So for that purpose, the art forms are made to show that, because it is taught that God created man, so and everything was centered about that creation. That is creator was given. Now, scientifically, they wanted to prove that man is the center of all. So that, because they could make discoveries, they could make adventures, they could do so also. That is why man was made as the focus. That is. Okay. Spirit of inquiry is there, no?
Yeah.
What is spirit of inquiry? You just read it.
Sorry.
Sorry.
In the medieval age, all human activities, both mental and physical, were controlled and guided by the authority of the Pope and the Church. The human mind was virtually not allowed to develop independent thinking, but a number of scholars disregarded the idea of critical theory and developed a spirit of inquiry and a sense of curiosity among the people.
Underline this point there. They wanted to develop a spirit of inquiry and a sense of curiosity to know. See, the unknown things they wanted to know. What is the reason behind it? See, when something is happened, okay, that way casually going was the earlier nature. Now, why it happened, how it happened, that is everything was questioned. That curiosity was developed as a result of this Renaissance.
They taught how human beings to know why and how of the things.
Okay, understood that point. Why and how?
They did not regard anything as correct merely because the theologies of the church had regarded it as correct.
So they did not believe in what was taught to them. See, if I am telling one simple example today, I mixed that is salt in water, and I am telling you it is sugar, it is sweet. So just I am making you to believe. You are telling that no, it is not sweet. It is not bitter also. So, salty, no? Salt I mixed, no? So then I not spicy also, salty. Salt is mixed in water. So what happened? I am just complaining, so I am not ready to accept what you are telling. So just because of that, you are just saying, इसको कुछ नहीं आता है. So salt is put in water means that it tastes salty only. It will not be sweet. So that is what happened in the modern period. We could question. But earlier time they were forced to believe what was taught to them. If the religious teachers are teaching them, it is sweet means you have to believe like that. There is no chance of questioning. Now, this Renaissance helped them to question. Clear? Now, they questioned
They questioned the authority of the church. They wanted a transition from faith to reason, observation and experimentation.
Underline. That is, they wanted a transition from faith to reason. See, what is faith? So we are believing something. Just it was taught to us. So it is a faith. We are believing in that. So now faith is put aside and we want a reason why. So that is faith to reason. Then observation and experimentation. We will believe only after observing it and experimenting it. Just because somebody told that way, we are not going to believe. So that is what the transition from faith to reason, observation and experimentation. Got it clear?
The following were the factors which were responsible for the development of the spirit of
So that part is not there. Role of original thinkers is not there. Then crusades is not there. Development of science not there. Invention of printing press is there.
Yes.
See, earlier when I was teaching you, I told you people used to write by hand. That is called a manuscript. Now, manuscript was very difficult. See, Satvik's handwriting, it is very difficult to understand. Then your handwriting is very small, so it take time to understand. Her handwriting is very beautiful and presentation is good. It is very easy to understand. So if I am telling her, these all things you have to write. So she will tell me, मेरे पास टाइम तो नहीं है इन्हें कॉपी करने के लिए. So that time everything had to be copied down. That is one copy. If we want, so we have to order it, and that scribes were called to write. Those who are having good handwriting were called to write. That way only manuscripts were written. So when manuscripts were written, I have told you his handwriting is very shabby. Then this also not that good. Your handwriting is very small. His handwriting is okay. Her handwriting good. So when we take all these 5 handwritings, then I will think that if that way 10 copies are to be made, is it possible for me to tell one person to write that one in 1 hour? No, it will take time. It is very difficult to write that is exact copy because I am telling her to copy his handwriting. You cannot understand, so it will take a long time to read it and copy it. So manuscripts were having so much problem. So in 1440, that John Gutenberg, 1456, John Gutenberg invented printing machine. What was this thing, printing machine? Earlier in China, they have made wood block printing. Wood block means what was that? On wooden the thing that alphabets were cut and the paper was pressed against it. Now in Europe, Gutenberg invented mechanical printing press. So by combining that ideas of that olive presses and that jewelry making machine. So these two ideas were combined together and he invented the new printing press. This printing machine, when he invented, it was very easy to make copies. So that was a new change happened during that Renaissance period. It helped to make copies easily. Did you understand that printing press? You just read fast that one.
We don't have that.
Huh?
Yeah,
It
printing
is
press.
the printing. Ah. Everything and everything you are
Check
doing.
47.
Okay, fast you.
The first printing press was set up in Germany by Gutenberg in the middle
Underline.
of the 15th century. Later, and Caxton introduced it in England. The invention of printing press in the middle of the 15th century in Europe made it possible to produce books in large numbers. The Bible and many other religious and classical books were printed and made available all over Europe. The printing press spread knowledge far and wide. Scholars found it easier to read printed books than handwritten manuscripts. In the Middle Ages, books were few and they were beyond the reach of the ordinary people. The printing press enabled Europe to multiply books and put them within the reach of people. Printing and the distribution of books influenced people's attitude to life and brought about a new awakening in Europe.
Ah. Okay. Understood what is the use of that printing press? Now we are going to learn about the impact of Renaissance. You start reading that part. Impact. Impact is the
But art and
art and the
painting.
Alright, don't do it, yeah. Not doing it.
Only that
Art,
Leonardo
no,
Check
art,
gulab jamun.
art and not painting. That is the spinning Shakespeare, literature is there. Ah, don't
Prashant, our school has cut too much. So let's work this. What's the beginning में एक chapter का beginning में एक box में दिया हुआ है ऐसे.
Okay. Art you.
The Renaissance had a great impact on all aspects of life. Art, literature, and philosophy, science, religion, etc. It was due to the spirit of Renaissance that significant traits emerged in the realm of art, thought, and literature. The Renaissance did not merely lead to the rebirth of learning but also to the rebirth of art. During the medieval times, the paintings and sculptures served as a tool for propagating religion. Even when the colors which the painters used were strictly regulated. However, the artists of the Renaissance period refused to abide by medieval rules and traditions. They adopted new artistic methods such as frescoes for wall pictures, oil colors, and woodcuts. They studied optics and geometry and used their knowledge to develop perspective in their paintings. They also studied human anatomy to find the mechanism underlying gestures and expressions.
Okay. Understood. What was the thing? Wait. Sorry. You. See, art, what was the peculiarity? They used colors and painting and sculpture served as a tool for propagating religion. The religious teaching. See, nowadays we know that we are able to read the things. Earlier times when that education was limited, they were not able to read. So only religious teachers used to teach them. And after a certain age, they cannot understand also. Now what was the method used? The pictures were used as a method to convey this concept. For example, there was a picture named Fall of a Man. It is a very important painting. What was the fall of the man? What was the thing? That was God created Adam and Eve, and this because of that persuasion through a serpent, this God blessed people. That is, these people were blessed by God. Now they had been cursed. They were out of that. So how that man fallen from due to his own work, that was made through the painting. So people understood that the theme, what is written in the Bible, that theme is very clear to them. So the painting was used to convey important themes and ideas of religious scriptures. Okay, painting. See here, Leonardo da Vinci. You just take that Leonardo da Vinci.
Shall I?
Yes.
Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci was a great painter, sculptor, musician, and scientist.
So what all are the characters? What all are his important areas? Great painter. Underline. Great painter, sculptor, musician, and scientist.
Where?
Leonardo da Vinci.
Okay, ma'am.
Where is your pen and pencil? Okay.
Da Vinci received no formal education beyond basic reading, writing, and maths, but his father appreciated his artistic talent and apprenticed him at around the age of 15 to the noted sculptor and painter Andrea del Verrocchio, also Florence. For about a decade, Da Vinci refined his painting and sculpting techniques and trained in mechanical arts. Da Vinci's interests ranged far beyond fine arts. He studied nature, mechanics, anatomy, physics, architecture, and weaponry. He saw science and art as complementary rather than distinct disciplines, and thought that ideas formulated in one realm could and should inform the other.
So one area we cannot limit our knowledge and work in one realm only. It is having its influence in another area also. So a painter, when he is doing the painting, intrinsic that the works are also shown. So we are just appreciating the beauty, the color, but inside there are so many aspects are there. So it includes the anatomy, human anatomy. It includes that sculptural work. It includes so many aspects of that human behavior and development.
He spent a great deal of time immersing himself in nature, testing scientific laws, dissecting bodies, human and animal, and thinking and writing about his observations. At some point in the early 1490s, Da Vinci began filling notebooks related to four broad themes: painting, architecture, mechanics,
Underline what all are the things?
and human anatomy.
Painting, architecture, mechanics, and human anatomy. Underline.
Creating thousands of pages of neatly drawn illustrations. His paintings of the Virgin of the Rocks, the Last Supper, and Mona Lisa are great masterpieces of art. New techniques
Is very important. These names you have to remember.
Which one?
Virgin of Rocks, Last
Virgin
Supper, and Last Supper and Mona Lisa are great masterpieces of art.
New techniques were adopted in his paintings to give a fine feeling of reality.
Eh?
The next one also.
Literature, William Shakespeare is there, no?
We don't have this. Okay.
No, we don't have literature.
But the beginning part is it given? Shakespeare.
Yeah, it's there. Literature and science. Leonardo da Vinci and William Shakespeare and Copernicus.
Yes, these three personalities you read, then we will see that.
Shall I put it?
William Shakespeare you read.
He was an English poet, playwright, and actor who is widely regarded as the greatest writer in English language and the world's preeminent dramatist.
So what were the characteristics of this William Shakespeare? He was a great poet, playwright, and actor. Then he was regarded as the greatest writer in English language and world's preeminent dramatist. You are learning in English, that is his dramas and all, no? Julius Caesar, not like me.
No. No, it's
Very
really
bad.
You're the best.
Chal.
It's okay. It's not.
Huh?
Chal.
Okay.
Yeah.
He is often called
He is often called England's national poet and the bard of Avon.
So what was he
I
called
know
as?
I know.
You just underline these points, whatever I am telling. What was that? He was considered as the England's national poet and the bard of Avon.
He wrote 38 plays,
How many plays and all? Underline.
38 plays, 154 sonnets, and 2 long narrative poems and a few other verses. With the exception of Romeo and Juliet, Shakespeare's first plays were mostly historical dramas like Richard II, Henry VI, and Henry V. He also wrote several comedies during his early period: A Midsummer Night's Dream, Much Ado About Nothing, As You Like It, and Twelfth Night.
You might have studied about this thing, Midsummer Night's Dream, 7th standard. I have some the ICSE students were having this. Then much ado about nothing. No. As you like it, Twelfth Night. These all are
No, I don't like it.
comedies.
You only asked as you like it.
Okay.
It was only after 1600 that he wrote tragedies like Hamlet, King Lear, Othello, and Macbeth. Shakespeare's work transcends culture and history. He appeals to emotions and thoughts that are a part of eternal human nature and therefore have a universal appeal.
So, understood now whatever are the greatness of Shakespeare, which are the important dramas, important poetries, tragedies that you might have studied about the Merchant of Venice also.
I know a little. We have studied.
No,
It's a comedy.
no, it is not that much comedy. But every aspect he used to write. That is the greatness. That is why Kalidasa is compared to.
Shall I continue?
Ah,
Copernicus.
Copernicus.
Nicholas Copernicus. He was a mathematician and astronomer.
So what was underline? Whatever I'm telling. Copernicus. What was the first point? He was a mathematician and an astronomer.
Who formulated a model of the universe that placed the sun rather than the earth at the center of the universe.
So
And the sun revolves around the earth.
earlier it was like that.
Believe that.
Yes, it does.
So, sun is rotating around.
Arey,
the
don't do it, yaar.
Okay. What was the greatest theory of Copernicus? Sun as the center of the universe and Earth and other planets revolve around the sun. Yes, Ian, come here.
Go there.
Right.
Give the book.
Continue.
The publication of this model in his book De Revolutionibus Orbium Celestium on the revolutions of celestial spheres just before his death in 1543 CE is regarded as a major event in the history of science, triggering the Copernican revolution. Copernicus based his heliocentric theory on the following.
So what was the theory he made? Heliocentric theory.
Hey, mark it, yaar. Don't do it, yaar.
There is no one center of all celestial circles or spheres. The center of the earth is not the center of the universe, but only of gravity and of the lunar sphere. All the spheres revolve around the sun as their midpoint, and therefore the sun is the center of the universe. The Earth has more than one motion, turning on its axis and moving in a spherical orbit around the sun. Later on, a German scientist, John Kepler, proved that the Earth and other planets move around the sun, not in a circle but in elliptical orbits. Italian scientist Galileo invented the telescope. Sir Isaac Newton discovered the law of gravitation. Great discoveries were made in the field of medical sciences. Vesalius wrote a treatise on anatomy. William Harvey, an English physician, discovered the circulation of blood from the heart to all parts of the body and back to the heart. Paracelsus proved a close connection between medicine and chemistry. Cordus prepared ether from alcohol and sulfuric acid.
These all things are not there. Only that you copper.
Ma'am, done.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, video.
This video, Copernicus.
You switch here,
Go Christian. Through Rathi video.
not through that. You just take that Mona Lisa, Last Supper.
See, ma'am, what you are doing?
This text.
We allow.
Ma'am, which one? What?
Leonardo da Vinci.
Hey,
Krishi, come here. Why are you doing? Everything is getting recorded.
ma'am, which one?
हैं?
Which one?
ए ऊपर ऊपर गया हाँ ये वाला अरे नीचे वाला उसका हाँ
ये क्या है?
एक
क्यों
कुछ
नहीं कर रहे?
तो कीड़ी है ना किस लिए
चुप रहे.
चल विशाल.
Last Supper.
This one?
चल.
No, that's
No.
that doesn't look.
Yes,
That's
yes, yes,
animated.
yes,
No,
yes.
ma'am, that's animated.
चल.
10 more straight.
You listen this one.
Just go and see that what is happening in the class is getting
What do you mean how I do? How? What is this? Actually, animals name only, they want to
this was stolen so many times.
Yes.
हम ना ध्रुव राठी हम मिला कैसे
अरे वो
From one country to
मैम ध्रुव राठी मैम ध्रुव राठी
मिस्टेक ट्राई करा
No,
मैम ध्रुव
hey, she'll put like ABCs. I'm sure.
यस मैम ध्रुव राठी
मैम ध्रुव राठी
मैम ध्रुव राठी मैम ध्रुव राठी अरे टाइप करना सर्च करके नहीं आता
Which one?
ध्रुव राठी
you
का
want that one you asked.
I'll put. I'll find. I'll put. I want to.
Hey, let me do it. Wait.
I'll find a good
No.
one. Send me what?
ध्रुव राठी
Very good.
क्यों
This one.
No. Mumbai is done. No. No.
That's a law.
अरे shit.
No shit.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I'll put this one.
No. Meeting a German football team.
अरे नहीं. अब वो मुझे बताओ. अरे shit. What is this?
That is why I'm putting zero.
अरे तुम हटाओ. अरे यार हटाना ये.
हटाना
ये तो गोरा हो गया. चुप.
अरे यार हटाना
क्या बोला पूरे अरे रमेश
ऊपर कर ध्रुव राठी
just search Dhruv Rathi. That's
No.
ध्रुव राठी
video.
Where are you going? Sudden. Somali
अरे
pilots.
यार
Yeah, this one.
नहीं हटा.
Rico.